Well, congratulations, Leanne. We can lose the interim title now. You're the next head coach officially for Glasgow City. How does it feel?
A bit of a whirlwind, to be honest. I never expected to be in this position at this moment in time. I wouldn't say that it was in the immediate plans, but absolutely delighted that the club and the board have shown the belief in me to offer me the position. And there's not been a lot of people that have held the position over the years, and that's kind of testament to the great job that they've done when they've been in position. So hopefully I can emulate what's gone in the past and just keep driving this club forward.
I think it's almost 3/4 of the Lights history. You've been part of it something like 16 years now. We've talked a lot about you as a player and as a captain when you retired, but just what kind of has that in that skin that you've had for the last 16 years, the DNA the club has, and you as part of that, how does that infuse and what does it mean to you being part of this club for so long?
Just being here, it's obviously been a huge part of my life, and I think the more time that you spend here and the stronger the relationships that you build, then you obviously become more connected, and over the years I've become stronger and stronger connected to the club. And the relationships that I've built whilst I've been here have been really important to me.
You've seen the club change a heck of a lot over the years. You're now, leading the first team, but underneath that, we've seen with young players coming through the academy into the first team this season, you're going to be able to see the talent coming through as well and working with the academy. That must excite you that you can see everything from the top all the way down. Yeah,
and that's hugely important that we do have that kind of conveyor belt coming through, and the players and the younger teams have got that opportunity to play for Glasgow City, and we need to keep progressing them through the youth age groups and into the first team as we have done this season especially.
You've also just recently gained your A licence before Christmas. You've been developing as a coach for a few years. I remember you taking sessions, as a player. You've been with the Scotland setup. You've been assistant as well. What have you kind of learned over the last few years that will help you now as the number one?
I think it's just been about taking all the good bits and of each person that I've worked with, each head coach, just really looking at how they've done things and kind of thinking, if I was in that position, would I do the same or would I do different? So it's about kind of shaping yourself on people that you've worked with in the past, and I think that I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of talented coaches that I've learned a lot from over the years, so hopefully that stands me in good stead.
It's been fairly successful since you've came in January. I think you mentioned in the early doors about little tweaks you've made. You've not made wholesale changes, but there has been a difference in style, a lot more goals in the team. Will we see an evolution of that as time goes on, or is this kind of the style that your kind of philosophy you've got in your head for how City should play?
I think the club philosophy is that we play attractive football, so that's not going to change. That's what we'll work on day in, day out in training. And the standard of players that we've got in here, that they want to play football, they're comfortable on the ball. But we, I think, over the past few weeks have become better at the other part of the game as well and defending. And I think we need both sides of the game to keep progressing so that this club keeps going forward.
And that's quite important. You say defending's there, clean sheets have been pretty regular, but as I say, since the start of the turn of the year, a lot of games, a lot of goals, entertaining football, different scorers, lots of different assists. That must be pleasing that there's a number of players involved in the football pitch making big impacts on these results.
It is pleasing, and I've had conversations with individual players about the standards that they're setting and just how difficult it's now becoming to choose a starting 11 on a Sunday. And we need to continue like that. The players need to keep pushing the standards, and they need to keep pushing each other so that we keep getting better and better.
It's something you've mentioned a lot, and you mentioned there about the difficulty of a starting 11. We've seen that with players come off the bench. Sometimes a game can ebb and flow after an hour, and then subs change, and the games can kind of dwindle down. But subs have came on and made a real impact against wanting to show that they deserve a starting spot, and there's been a real competition for places. Definitely,
and I think you need that in a team, and I think it's kind of testament to the characters that we've got here, that they do want to come in and they want to contribute when they get the opportunity to be on the pitch. So the talent that we've got here, it is going to be difficult to nail down that starting 11 place, but as I said, they just need to keep driving the standards and keep forcing themselves into the starting 11, and then once they're there, try and stay there.
The nature of the bunch, though, on the pitch and just in general seems like really cohesive at the moment. I think in the goal against Celtic, there's players celebrating on the pitch, the dugout was celebrating, there's about half a dozen players in the stands injured or otherwise. celebrating as well. Everyone is unified as one, which seems to be a real collective thing that's happened since the turn of the year.
Yeah, and that's really pleasing. Again, when you speak to individual players, they're telling me that this is one of the best dressing rooms that they've been in terms of togetherness and just everybody looking out for one another. So I think the more that we can build on that and get the team pushing in the same direction, then we can only get better and better.
Just looking at it on the pitch, obviously getting towards the business end of the season, the splits coming, quarterfinals, the Scottish Cup around the corner as well. There's obviously a bit of pressure. You know, quite often coaches come into jobs when maybe battling relegation and difficult times, but a side that were top of the table or continuing at the top of the table, looking to reclaim silverware after last season. Does that add extra pressure, or is it motivation? And you've done it before as a player. What's the feelings with that?
There's always pressure at this club. There's pressure to win every single game, regardless of whether we're at the top of the league or whether we're second, third. We just need to keep winning. And that message doesn't change, regardless of the position that we find ourselves in. So we just prepare and give respect to every team that we're going to play against, and we prepare in the same way. And I think that's been standing us in good stead up to date. And we just need to keep preparing in the same way and just keep ticking those games off towards the end of the season.
Just finally, as a player, you've also had that burning desire and the success, winning trophies, winning leagues. Is the same kind of excitement and thrill there as a coach on the sidelines trying to get over the line and win silverware?
The excitement definitely still is there, but for me, I think you can see that I've been a little bit different on the sidelines than I was on the pitch, but the majority of my work is done during the week, and then I think the players have got the responsibility then to carry out the game plan when they go on the pitch. So there's only so much that I can do from the sidelines.
Well, hopefully you and the girls can do their jobs for the rest of the season. Best luck for the rest of the campaign. Best luck on being the next Glasgow City head coach.
Thanks very much.